All right, welcome to another episode of Let's Do Things Different, shall we? In today's episode, which by the way, I'm going to do my best to keep short because they have been running rather long. I thought I would talk about um, tech forward and what is it that we really want to do, how we want to do it, but also about what this podcast, what we're trying to accomplish with the podcast. And then we're going to add an editorial at the end. And it's just literally me talking about something that may have happened today or in the previous week that got me thinking about whatever that may be. And it doesn't have to be about technology. Um, it could be a social issue. It could be about anything. Listen, at the end of the day, um, we do have opinions. We all have opinions, right? We all have opinions about everything. Um, some people are willing to voice them, and they get penalized for it. Some people voice them and get away with it. I figured I've always been one to talk. I've always been one to have opinions. So why not voice them? And what comes comes. So anyway, so tech forward. There's been a lot of talking and conversations as to what we really want to do and how we want to do it. So originally, when Tech Forward got started, my whole point of doing this, and I am the founder of the Tech Forward. I have a board of directors. They are five people on that board, and I'm hoping to have them on the call on the podcast soon, because I want their opinions. I want them to tell you why they support what Tech Forward is about. Um, and also because we're trying to grow the podcast. Um, so originally, our intention was to teach software development from A to Z. Mind you, it was supposed to be introduction to software development, meaning that we would teach you using a project, say a website. We would teach you, and I say we, although I would be doing most of it. Find volunteers, find people to actually programmers, developers to teach you separate whatever it was that you need to have an understanding and an intro level a entry level understanding of how to write your own website. Um, and that was our thought. So I to be fair, I thought when I first thought about this, I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. I can handle the data side. I'm knowledgeable about data. I can tell you whatever, but I'm knowledgeable about it. So, I mean, I'm going to go find developers to help me teach this. Well, two things happen. One, every developer I talked to, every single one said no. Reasons varied. The most common one was, I don't have time. Mind you, that is, if you are a software developer, let's be honest, most of us, me and my time, you're working 14, 16-hour days. So yeah, you don't have time. However, the next reason was, how much are you going to pay me? I wasn't going to pay anything, right? The whole point of this is that this was volunteer work. Well, needless to say, I was never able to find developers to help me teach what I wanted to teach. So that delayed things quite a bit. And that delayed things because I, on my own, could not come up with a curriculum about, say, JavaScript, because I don't know JavaScript. So how can I come up with what to teach you when I don't know what that is? In a way, AI saved us. And what I mean by that is that as AI became more and more, it got the Pandora was out of the box. Everything came out of Pandora's box. I mean, and AI is everywhere. But what AI did to me, to us in particular, is that a lot of articles were out there now about the future of software development and AI. And AI now became the entry level developer. AI can now write the basic code. Yes, I do believe that you need a human to customize that code to make it better, to make it what it needs to be. But AI became that entry level developer that we were supposed to be teaching. So the question then came, wait a minute, if we teach people how to be entry level developers, would there even be a job for them to do? I probably, okay. But that became a big concern of ours. So we started thinking about, okay, so if we don't do that, what else can we do? Well, the notion that I cannot teach or we cannot teach software development remained. Okay. So we're going to do it. But what we decided to do for two reasons is we'll figure out a way to teach it. How do we teach that? Who do we get to help us? What's the curriculum, etc. We will continue to work on that because I personally believe that it's something that it is viable. It's something that can be done, especially in a small town, especially because it's free or would be free. But we needed to get our name out there, Tech Forward's name out there. So if we cannot do the full software development, what else can we teach? Okay, so our current direction is very simple, really. We're going to teach what I know. So what do I know? I know data. So the first class we're going to do in March is Introduction to Database Development and Query Writing. Why? Because that's what I know, right? I can write, and I have been writing the curriculum for that. We're going to do it online. It's going to be an online course, right? You have to bring your own laptop. You have to get on Zoom, and you have to join us for the class. Actually, it's going to be Google Meet, but not neither here or there. So then, what else can we do? And we started looking at the area that we live, right? So we thought, you know what? We can teach Office, Microsoft Office. We can teach Google products because it. I know it. I know them, but I'm getting additional knowledge so that the class is worth your while is something that I could do. But also because um, there are many companies out there that require you, the individual, to have some basic skills, right? Word, Excel, Google Docs, Google Sheets, email, Outlook, whatever that is. Those are skills that you need if you want to apply for just about any job. And again, we are a technology company, so why not do that? So that's what we're going to do. But then, I'm sorry, not then. And lastly, the next thing we're going to do is we will, and you've heard me talk about this in other podcasts, in other episodes, we are going to write software to help a particular set of individuals, groups, companies in small towns. We talked about the small town hub, which as of right now contains uh, two applications. Is about to have a third. First one is the small town app, the app for the small town of Palmyra, small towns like Palmyra, the real estate listing management side, and now we're going to add a third one, which is going to be around ticketing. We'll talk about that in more detail in a later episode. So those are the three things that we have in mind. There's a fourth one. The fourth one, I believe, is the most important one and the one that matters more today. And that is we can help you. I can help you with your website. I can create your website for you. If funding allows, we will give it away. That we give the first year free. If funding doesn't allow, then we charge you only the hosting for the first year. And we use Squarespace, by the way. And we teach you how to update your own website so that you don't have to come back to us, so you know how to do it yourself. But we don't want to stop there. We want to, if you have any other needs in the technology side, whether how to use a particular piece of software that you need, whether a wireless router went out, get a hold of me. I am no expert at anything, but except query writing, I am very good at that. But if you have any kind of needs like that and you are in Palmyra in some local town, give me a holler, give me a call, text me, email me, find me on Facebook Messenger, and I will answer and see if I can do it. I will do it, and I will do it at $15 an hour. $15 an hour, that is minimum wage. Okay. Our job is not to break the bank. Our job is to help you. And if I can help you for $15 an hour, why wouldn't I? So those are our four things. We're going to be teaching entry level database stuff. I know that. We're going to teach you some of the skills that you need, some of the applications that you need to apply for that job that you want. Microsoft Office products, Google products. We are going to write applications specific to groups in small towns, like a realtors, listing management, for a small town hub application, and soon, a ticketing information. I'll explain that later. And the fourth thing is that we can build your website. We can build it for free if we can. If not, it'd be extremely cheap. And we teach you how to maintain your website, the website that we write. So you're going to be seeing a lot more about this stuff online. And I am going to start pushing stuff out, letting people know that this is what we do, this is how we do it. We want opinions, we want comments, we want people to tell me, don't do this, do that. What do you think about this? We want to hear from you. So that's why we do it, right? That needed to be said, by the way. All right. So the next thing that we want to talk about is, and this is the anyway, I've mentioned this on LinkedIn earlier this week. I am writing the curriculum now for the introduction to database development, and I'm gonna give a shout out to all teachers out there. It's been a little bit, actually not a little bit, quite humbling to write this curriculum, this requirements, because I have never taught, right? I have always, in a corporation, in a company, when somebody asks you how to do something, you tell them how to do it. You don't really ask too many questions. If they do, you answer what you can. But at the end of the day, they have to do what you tell them to do because you're the expert, or you're the one that supposedly knows. Let's not call me an expert. But now I have to think not just about what I know, but how to explain what I know in a way that can be easily understood by someone that doesn't know anything about software, about database development. And that has taken me in a direction that I never thought I would have to. And that is that I have to slow myself down. I am one of those people that when it comes to development, software, database development, I can look at a query and say, yeah, I know what's wrong. Now, don't ask me how in the world did I get to that result. It's something that comes natural to me, right? The way I think in this particular case, it just comes. But the whole thing in math, especially, that they tell you that you have to show the results. Well, now I have to show the results. How did I get from A to Z? What are the steps? How did my brain function to get me the answers and all the steps from A to Z? That's new to me. I never had to. And it has helped, to be honest with you, because it has forced me to slow down and make sure that I understand every step along the way. Sometimes I may have known the step, but I didn't know why I was taking that step. So now I have to do all that because I have to be able to explain it. Just because it's not an answer, as we tell our children. Okay? God, I hated that from my bosses. Just do it because I tell you to do it. Tell me why. Help me understand why I'm doing this. So now I have to do that. And it's been very interesting. So I also have to think about questions, right? Questions that I need to ask the student, but I also have to be aware of questions the student maybe ask me. And I have to make sure that I take that I only answer the questions relevant to the class at hand, to the session. I can get extremely excited talking about data and queries, and it's cool to me, but I have to be able to slow it down. So, shout out to all teachers, especially my daughter Alexandria, who is a math teacher in Chattanooga. How in the world you do this on a daily basis, all of you, is incredible, and you deserve way more money than you're getting now. Yeah, I said it. Okay. First responders, nurses, and teachers, for the love of God, pay them. They are the ones that should be making six figures, not us. We don't deserve the six figures. Yes, I said that too. This should be fun, shouldn't it? And that's what I need to get back to. This is one of my things. This is the one thing that I'm getting out of this, is that I'm getting the fun back, and I do mean that. It's fun again. So shout out to all you teachers. Lastly, this is the editorial section of the podcast. This is the last thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about you, the company, and here's where I'm going with this. Yesterday I saw an advertisement from a hosting company. At the moment, let's not give them any credit by naming them. And it said that we will build your website for $79 in a week. By the way, Bluehost charges hundreds of dollars. Squarespace charges hundreds of dollars. And they gave an amount in the ad. But we'll do it for $79. Now, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? If they, in fact, are doing it this cheap, and we use Squarespace to host ours, this may be something worthwhile. So I went to look at it. No, it wasn't $79. Now, they didn't lie. $79 is, in fact, for them to build it in 7 days. But in order for you to get that $79 to get to the point where you can pay the $79, you have to pay all this other stuff. Hosting fees. You have to get a website through them. You have to host it. You have to do A, B, and C. So by the time you get to that $79 in a given year, you're already spending hundreds of dollars. And that irked me. And it just pissed me off. It wasn't false advertisement in a way, because it did say, we will build your website for $79 in 7 weeks. But it pissed me off because it's what I call it clickbait, which it worked. I clicked on it. But why? Why? Why can't we do a better job or a more honest job when advertising our products, when advertising our services? I hope that we Tech Forward, as we're able to our hope is that once we have applications to sell, that once we have applications to give, I hope that I'll give you all the information that you need to make a decision whether our services or our application is worth your while. Our goal is not to lie to you. I don't want to entice you. I don't want to have to the whole, why is the product $10.99? Why isn't it $11? Well, because you, the consumer, you see the 10, and 10 is not 11. You're paying 11, but your mind says, hey, it's 10 and change. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that whenever we get to the point to give you something, that we're going to tell exactly how much it is. There's no hidden cost. We'll tell you up front. So why is it that the companies as a whole can't do that? I know the answer. Okay, the answer is, well, we got to get customers. We want more customers, and we got to entice them to come. And for every for every 100 customers that go to this hosting company, if one or two of them sign up, hey, we got two. I get it. I get it. I really do. But why? Why? Why do we lie to consumers? And lies by omission are still a lie, at least in my brain. I don't get it. We are no saints. I am no saint. But I hope that when we get to that point, that I do exactly what I'm complaining. I don't do what I am complaining about. Let's be honest. You have a service. Tell me what the service is. Tell me what the cost is. Tell me exactly what I'm going to get for your servers. But don't tell me that it starts at 39, but what you really mean is that 39 bucks doesn't give you crap. It gives you this much. If you really want what I can offer you, it's going to cost you $1,000 bucks. But all I wanted to do was bring you to my website. Listen, this is the way of the world. I'm asking you to consider changing the ways of the world. That's what this editorial is going to be about. Be honest with your customers up front. To your potential customers up front. Tell them what you really have to offer. Tell them what you really is going to cost. And I think, maybe I'm way wrong, I think at the end of the day, you have more customers and more loyal customers. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. On our next episode, we're going to be talking specifically about nonprofits. I have data from the IRS, which I have already begun to spend some time with, and I'm going to show you some statistics about nonprofits, both in Missouri, Illinois, and the nation. And I have some questions about all this, it's going to be interesting. I think the data is interesting to me, but I'm going to leave you with this. And I've said this before. There are 1.8 million nonprofits in the nation. Everyone, including us, is asking you for money. Does it have to be that way? That's what we'll talk about next time. Until then, my name is Luis, and I hope to see you later.